Hey everybody, this is Marty in the Mystery Box, the one who made it. I'm the author. So bear with me because I'm not used to doing this stuff. So I guess I made an notorious thing to talk about. So I was born in England, Manchester, Ashton Underline. Um, Came to Canada when I was 3. I'm a welder fitter. Good general human being, I guess. The inspiration to write this book came to me about 6 months ago. It was just weird and asleep. I don't know why, because I would never write a book, anyways, never. So I just decided, okay, why not? I just woke up one day and then all came to me, filled my head about writing this book. So the cover of this book, if you can see it, it's Marty in the Mystery Box. I'm inspired by writing this book. The way I wrote it was like, do you remember when we were like 8 and 9? And we're reading like the Hardy Boys, Nancy Drew, and stuff like that. That's how I wrote it in that concept. Funny vibe, but still like a mystery, a suspense to go through, right? So that gave me that impression. I always liked reading Dean Koontz. I love the way he writes. I think how he writes is inspirational, and I try to get that into my book. So it's not like a boring book where you read it and go, oh, come on, I want to finish the chapter. No, it's actually, I'm trying to get it suspenseful in every chapter. So when you finish it, it goes on to the next chapter. Kind of nervous doing this because there you go. I'm drinking like a normal author would writing a book. So what else do I have on this itinerary? So the mystery box, let's talk about that. I could have wrote about the mystery box like everybody else, the mystery box with 3 wishes and stuff like that. Get that right out of your head. This mystery box is nothing like 3 wishes. This mystery box is such a spiritual turn. You guys couldn't even stop reading the book, honestly. It's pretty cool. The concepts, what I came up with, I think were from other books I read and watching movies and all that stuff. I don't think no one's ever touched the kind of story I'm writing. Not saying I'm a better writer than anybody. I'm just saying I think where my niche is different. When you read my book, I think you'll say, I hope you'll say, wow, it's a pretty good book, because I hope you enjoy reading it as much as I did writing it. Let's talk about the characters. So I actually have pictures of the characters. So the characters, if you want to see visual aspects of the characters, okay. So the reason I got these pages is because the book is actually being produced as we speak. So it'll take probably a month to get it back. It's going to be all binded and everything like that. And I talked to a couple of people like chapters and stuff like that. And they said I can do a showing there, but there's a lot of book up. So it'd be like in December, January when I have a couple of books. But I'll give you a rundown. So anyways, this is Marty. This is the main character, the 73 Cuda. Okay. This is Rose. She's going to be Marty's wife. This is Cassie, who's very involved in the book. This will be Mike, Marty's friend. This will be Angela from the book, aka the Devil from Hell. This will be Frank. I can't really tell you about that, but Frank plays a good part in the book. This will be Suzanne, the secretary, where she plays a good part in the book. This is Mark. This will be Camilla. And this will be David Steele. Gambler, assassination artist, everything. So where I came up with these characters is, I don't know. You notice the characters all have some kind of tattoo description. So I did that on purpose. So my brother's dog died, Mark's. So I put Spencer on him. Every character you see, you'll see in a resemblance in the book to explain why they have the tattoos. But it doesn't really go into the book itself. So what I'd like to do, I think what I'm going to do is read one page out of the book. I'm not a very good reader, but I will try reading one page, see how it sounds. What else can I tell you about the book? My first book I wrote. So it's kind of funny because when I was writing it, Cassie and Rose helped me because I'm not really computer literate, right? I wrote it like on paper, and Cassie helped me with spell check and all that. But what I found with writing the book is I had more energy writing the book and being in another world than actually going to work every day. You know, when you go to work, you're just tired and you want to come home. And then I was listening to this broadcast. I was working, and they said that, I know it's going to be silly, but if you go to work every day and you're tired when you come home, that's not what the universe wants for you. If you can sit down, play guitar, write a book, or do whatever you do, and you're not tired, that's what the universe pushes towards you. The universe will give you energy where you're supposed to be, and where you're not supposed to be, it will drain your energy. This ain't me. This is what I heard from the broadcast. And I'm thinking to myself, are you crazy? Everybody has bills. You know, it's beautiful to sit down and say, oh, okay, I'll quit my job and universe wants me to do this, so I'll do this and start fucking flipping hamburgers or playing Stratego or something like that. But you can't. Reality is we all got to go to work. We all got to pay our bills. And we all got to do something. So I guess when I had this come to me when I was sleeping, and it came to me in a dream, write a book, and I'm like, sure, why not, right? And you know how you all sit there, you think about the universe, you think about getting the lottery, and you say, oh my God, if I win the lottery, I'm going to do such and such, A, B, C, D. And you always say God never listens to you and stuff like that. And I was thinking about that. I'm in the same boat. I love to win the lottery and stuff like that and help everybody. And, you know, I think the universe or God maybe push you to different sections to maybe help the person. But I've never wrote a book. Like, I know I'm repeating myself because I'm kind of nervous because I am live. But let's get into the book. Number one. So when I did this book, the characters, like I said, were family people's names, right? Not actually what they do. I could have changed all the names, but I thought it'd be so cool to actually produce a book. How many people say they're going to do something and they never do it? So I thought, you know what? The reason it took me 6 months, I think, is because, well, of course I had to work and pay bills, but I wanted to get it done. Like, there's sometimes I didn't want to get it done. Honestly, I'd be like, oh, fuck it. We'll wait. And then I thought to myself, we have to do this. Because how many times have you said you're going to do something, but you never finish it? At least I'm hoping the book will be a great success. I will be there as the author, and I will be sitting at chapters or wherever I can go and try to bring my book to life, right? Try to make it a thing where people will read it and they don't want to drop it. They don't want to let it go. They want to read the whole thing. Like I said before, you don't want to get a book and go la da 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 da, and you're like, oh, it's too much. I'm hoping that from writing this book, I inspire other writers. It's like, it was really kind of hard to write at first because I want you, as an audience, when you pick up a book and you buy it, you look at the picture, you say, hey, that's a pretty cool picture. Then you get the first, second, third page, you're like, oh, fuck it. I'll put it back down, right? And you're sitting there and you're like, okay, but you never gave the book a chance, right? So my wife will tease me and say, well, how do you know you're going to get anywhere? Well, how do you know I'm not? Like, I really enjoyed doing this book. And I want it to be like I said, the Hardy Boys convent, how it's book after book after book after book after book. And the readers, like when we're kids, we're like, oh my God, did you read the Hardy Boys Go to the Vampire? Or something like that. I don't want it where it's going to be a dreadful, boring book where, okay, I'll just put it down. I want a book where you pick it up and you can't put it down. And each chapter suspenseful, like you're thinking, oh, no, this is going to happen. And meanwhile, twist around, you weren't even close to what was going to happen, right? And I know I got a lot of but how would I say it? Well, I made an email, Marty and the mystery box, right? And so when people purchase a book or they win the book, the last page is going to be like the email address I made up, right? So it'll be Marty and the mystery box at gmail.com. And I'm hoping everybody who reads it can send their ideas or even their inspirations to say, hey man, that was a great book, such and such and such and such. Or, I'm going to expect the bad ones too. Are you 2-year-old rating this book? But you know what? For every bad one, there's probably going to be 4 good ones, right? But the thing is, this book, I really enjoyed writing it. Like, I'd go to the gym, I'd come back, and it's weird. It's like you come back, you're so excited to finish your book, even though, you had spelling mistakes and your daughter and your wife showed you how to put it together and stuff, right? Like, that was pretty cool. So, it's weird. It's like, it's the first book I ever wrote. So I'm going to read you the first page. Now, this ain't going to be the first page. What I got all these papers are original pages, right? From when I wrote it on Word and I printed it out. And then I paid someone to make the book for me. I gave them all the information, made all the book. And what I'm going to do with this book is right away, I'm going to put it on Amazon, right? I got the things to download it and stuff like that, so you guys can see it on Amazon. But I don't want it to be an expensive book. Last week I was in Chapters with Rose, or some bookstore. I don't know if it's called Chapters anymore. And it's funny. I picked up the book. It says $43. I said, what? Are you fucking kidding me? No, I don't want to go that route. I would like to put maybe a $20 price tag, $15 maybe. But I have to know how much the book cost me to make. So not how much it cost me to produce, because the produce is very high, but to make. So say if it comes back, your book cost you $8 to make, hypothetically. That's buying it. That's one book out the door, $8. Okay. So I'll sell it for, say, 15, right? So, I want someone to pick up that book and say, $15? Fuck, that's not even fucking Tim Hortons, right? And you'll be like, yeah, I'll give it a shot. But you know what I'll get out of it? If you cannot put that book down and you email me at Marty in the mystery box at gmail.com, you say, oh my God, I had great experience reading it, sorry. And I just thought, that'd be so cool. So the first page was kind of, I didn't want to sound like every other book, there's a lightning storm or something like that. And the first page came to me, like I said, when I was sleeping. It came to me in a dream. All this book came to me in a dream. And it's funny. You won't believe this. I swear you won't believe this. Last night we got Chinese food, okay? And everybody's eating their Chinese food like normal, right? And it's funny because, how you break your cookie and you usually get a shitty fucking stupid, your cock's big, or, you're going to be a queen or anything, right? Just something outrageous, right? And it's funny because, you know what I got? Your book's going to hit the market. I swear to God. Ask Cassie, ask Rose. They couldn't believe it. I stopped everybody. They were watching TV downstairs. Rose was watching TV upstairs. I think they were watching the Jays games, right? Oh, the Blue Jays won, by the way. But anyways, and they're playing tonight at 8 o'clock. But anyways, it was funny because it said that. And I showed them. I told them to look what it said, right? And they go, "Oh my God, it's just." I don't believe it's maybe fate. I don't know, because it was just weird that happened. You know, how would you say it? I did it to, of course, if everybody reads it, and they like it, I already have an idea, right? But I got to see how the public responds to it. And you know what? I was kind of nervous doing this video, but I'm starting to relax. Maybe it's the creme royal making me relax. I don't know. But I'm going to read you the first page, but please don't say, "Fuck, that guy can't read." I can write, but I'm not that good at reading. But let's start with the first page. Now, so I'll do one page every day, let you read it to you. So this is the first page. This actually was the first draft I did. It's got so many spelling mistakes. It's outrageous. And the reason I kept it is because if this is the first draft, I haven't had it in here. Marty and the Mystery Box, first print, October, right? This is when I finished this book, October the 15th, 25. And this is the first print I still kept, all from the printer. So, not this printer. I had to buy another printer because the other printer fucking sucked. But, I'll read you a little bit of this, see what you think. Okay. Maybe I'll have another drink. You know what sucks? You read everybody's book, and, like, how do I say it? I'm not an author by all means because it's my first book, but it's still, even though you guys don't see me, like, visually, like one-on-one, I'm still nervous to read this to you because I'm thinking, what happens if I say something wrong or I read it wrong and you guys are going to say, "Oh, fuck." But really, when you watch even movie stars on TikTok or YouTube or whatever like that, I guess, you look at them and you're like, they look normal, right? And it's funny because I was kind of nervous doing this, right? But like, I don't know if anybody's watching. I have no idea. But I guess that's how you start a little following. That's why I always got to say I made an email at Marty and the Mystery Box at gmail.com. That was personally made for this book. So, okay, here we go. Don't say anything about my reading, okay? Okay. And I don't have a Darth Vader voice or anything like that. I only got my voice. Okay. I'm still nervous reading this to you. It's so silly. Just one page. Bear with me. Okay. It was 6 a.m. in the morning. I just woke up with sweat running down my face, my hands clammy. I had a dream that night, or maybe even a spiritual calling in bed. A cryptic warning came through my future, saying it doesn't matter what path I choose or what I do in life or the destiny of my life, I will lose my job this Friday. I laughed. I brushed it off, and I started to get ready for work. So that was the first paragraph. Okay. So as usual, I did the usual things. I put the coffee maker on, put the TV on, and my dog Kelsey just woke up. Kelsey, my German Shepherd, sleeps right beside me. on the floor. Suddenly, a door opened. Don't make you sound effects. Okay, fine. Okay, I'm being silly. Maybe it's the drinking. So anyway, suddenly a door opens. My beautiful wife Wolf comes out, and suddenly thump! Her big fat dog Kuda jumps on the floor. So as they go to the bathroom and do their bathroom stuff, see, it's hard to read it to you because it says my wife Rose and her dog Kuda because I'm reading it and I know exactly what to say. I'm trying to read it to you like you're not reading it. It's kind of weird that way, but I'm going to try reading it to you exactly how I wrote it. But it's weird because when I'm reading it to you, like when I say, he did the usual things, put on the coffee maker, watch TV. The actual thing is, because I'm reading it to you, I know how to express it better, but I'm going to read it to you starting now from exactly what I wrote. Okay. So instead of he, like I put I, but it's he. It's Marty. So he did the usual things, put on the coffee maker and put on the TV. His dog Kelsey just woke up with him. Kelsey sleeps on the floor beside Marty. Suddenly a door opened. It was his gorgeous wife going to the bathroom. And then suddenly another thud on the floor. It was her fat dog Kuda. Rose went to the washroom, did her, lady things, and came out going back to the bedroom. Marty ran into Rose's room, Rose is my wife, and said, "Get up, get up." Rose jumped out of bed like she was winning a race. Kelsey and Kuda followed behind her. Rose said, "What's wrong, my bear?" as her robe was dragging on the floor. I said, "Go to the window, the dogs won't stop." So she said, "What are you talking about?" I said, "Go to the window, the dogs are acting crazy like they just saw a cat or something." So me and Rose approached the window. As we approached the window, we noticed when we're looking down, there's a kind of a glowing box in the middle of the road. And Rose goes, "What the hell is that?" I said, "I have no idea." And I said, "Okay, well, Rose, I got to go to work now. So can you go and get the box?" She said, "Absolutely, I won't because I got to go to work very soon myself too." So I said, "Rose, get the box." She said, "No. If you're so interested in getting the box, then you get it. You do your supernatural experience." So I laughed and I'm looking, and both dogs now are looking outside the window and they're not calming down. So I said, "Okay." So I called the dogs into the kitchen, gave them both a treat. And I said to myself, I was looking at the dogs, "Am I crazy?" And suddenly, Kelsey, the German Shepherd, her eyes started glowing yellow. And I looked and I went, "Oh my God." It kind of jumped back. And then I said, "Okay, it's probably the car headlights going through the window and hitting her eyes, right? And that's why they're yellow." So I just dismissed it as that. Then Kelsey started running around the apartment because she noticed a box in the middle of the road, like it was a box of treats. She started whining like a baby. I got Rose up again. She groaned, "Bear, it's 6:30. Go and get the box. I got to go to bed. I got to get up soon." So I said, "Okay, fine." So, see, this is weird because it's me, but I'll read what it says. As Marty opened the apartment door, he looked back at Rose, Kelsey, and Kuda and said, "Wish me luck." Rose said, "Yeah, yeah, yeah, good luck." Right? Marty took one look at Kelsey and said, "Come on, girl." She was nowhere in sight. And then Marty's sitting there by the door and looks around and says, "Rose, have you seen Kelsey?" "Yeah, I got both dogs, Bear. They're in here with me." Then Martin said to himself, "Oh, a loyal German Shepherd who will follow me through hell and back sits with her mom in bed." Basically, that's the first page. It's actually done a lot better. It's just when I try to read it to somebody because I wrote it, I know how would I say it? It's hard. If you're an audience and you're reading this thing yourself, you would understand more when everything said Marty ran here or Marty did this or someone did this. And I'm reading it as because I'm Marty and stuff like that. That's how I'm reading it. But I'm going to try reading it without explaining it and straight what you would be reading. Okay? Marty in the mystery box. It was 6 a.m. in the morning. I just woke up with sweat running down my face, my hands clammy. The dream I had, or the spiritual calling in bed, was a cryptic warning. The dream showed me a glimpse of the future, saying it didn't matter which path I choose or what I did, I'm going to lose my job Friday. Marty laughed and brushed it off and started getting ready for work. As usual, he put on the coffee maker and turned his TV on. Kelsey just woke up with him. Kelsey sleeps on the floor beside Marty. Suddenly, a door opened. It was his gorgeous wife, Rose, going to the bathroom. Then another thud. It was her fat dog, Kuda, following her. After Rose went to the bathroom, Marty ran into Rose's room and said, "Get up, get up." Rose jumped out of the bed like a horse winning a race and ran to Kelsey and Kuda and said, "What's wrong with the dogs?" as her rope is dragging behind her. I said, "Listen, the dogs are acting crazy. Can you please look outside the window?" Rose looked at me like I had two heads. As Rose proceeded to go to the window, she looked outside and said, "What?" So I looked outside with her. I said, "Look, there's a box in the middle of the road glowing." Rose said, "I don't see it glowing, but I do see the box. It looks like a cardboard box." She didn't think nothing of it. She dismissed it as I'm crazy, and she went back to her bedroom. I noticed the dogs acting like babies, whining like babies at this window. So I took another look outside the window, and the box glowed to me. And I got Rose up again. "Get up, Rose, get up." She said, "Bear, it's 6:30 in the morning. I have to go to work." I said, "The box is glowing." She said, "Okay." And then she ran to the window and took another look. She goes, "No, I see the cardboard box. I see the cardboard box in the middle of the road, but I don't see no glowing. Are you on one of those supernatural events? Are you watching too much TV?" I said, "Rose, we have to get the box." She goes, "Well, you go and get the box. It's 6:30 in the morning." I said, "Fine." So as Marty opened the apartment door, he looked back at Rose, Kelsey, and Kuda and said, "Wish me luck." Excuse me. Rose said, Yeah. Good luck and good night." Marty took one last look at Kelsey. "Come on, girl." But she was nowhere to be seen. Then he called out to Rose, "Have you seen the dogs?" She said, "Yes, they're with me." So that was the actual chapter. That was the first page of The Suspense of Marty in the Mystery Box. And it goes on from there. That right now you're noticing I already had a dream, a supernatural experience, a dream saying I'm going to lose my job Friday. I got up, getting ready for work like normal. And then the dog started acting funny. And Rose just got up normally, go to the washroom, whatever. Basically, we both looked outside the window. When I saw the box glowing, Rose just saw, like an Amazon box in the middle of the road, cardboard box. But the point is, because it called to me and stuff like that, I was telling Rose, get the box, right? Because I had to go to work. And Rose said, "No, I'm tired. I have to go to work." So fine, bit of bitching. She goes back to bed. I end up going to get the box. Before I leave the apartment, I call for my trustworthy dog, German Shepherd, Kelsey. Nowhere in sight. She's sitting there hiding with her mom. So and then the suspense starts from there. So Marty has to go downstairs in the elevator, go to the street, and find this box. And then the story continues from there. So right now you got a box glowing in the middle of the street. To me, it's glowing, but to the average person, it just looks like a cardboard box. And then the mystery starts from there. Why is the box in the middle of the street calling to me? And then you find out why. And it's really kind of loopy because everybody, if you read about a box or something like that, it's always the 3-wish thing. But this is nothing like the 3-wish thing. I can honestly tell you, when you read this, you'll say, "Wow, where did that guy think of that?" And you know what's funny? I didn't think about it. It came to me in a dream or something like that. Ooh. The characters. Let's talk about those people. The characters, what I brought in. I always had, what the hardest part about writing a book is keeping all the characters together. Like to try to keep them all together, right? I found keeping them all together was a lot harder, like, because you're writing this 200-page book and you're saying stuff like, how would I say it? Whatever happened in chapter 1, you got to remember that, because in chapter 3, if you try to bring that character back, that character can't just disappear and come back into nowhere. You got to have a life for that character and have a life for every other character And it's kind of weird because when you actually make a character, you're making like kind of a human being in some kind of thing that you're giving a character a name, you're giving them background, you're giving them purpose, and it was fun writing the book. It was, and I hope um, you guys follow me more every day. I'll read one page. It will be only Friday and Saturday and Sunday, my workout days, because I got to work during the week, right? But I'll read one page every day, right? And I just want to say, if you have any questions, you've seen the characters now, but I can honestly tell you, this book, you will not. You know how you read a book and same storyline, like a Marvel movie? I put a lot of time with twists and turns and things you wouldn't even expect. I read it like 10 times because I had to proofread it, right? But it was pretty cool. I really enjoyed writing this book, which I probably said 1,000 times. But I hope you follow me, right? You can follow me, Marty in the Mystery Box, at gmail.com, and express, you liked my video, you didn't like my video. You want me to go in more depth in the character. You saw the characters now, David Steele, Mark, Camilla, Ange, and stuff like that. And if you want me to go into history, how the characters I made up are presented to you, I have no problem with that. And I'm just happy that you got to see first page of my Marty in the Mystery Box. Thank you, and have a great night. And watch the Blue Jays game at 8 o'clock. Take care.